These are 10 unforgettable R&B and soul songs from 1969, the ones that still echo in memory, love, and longing. The Delphonics were floating romance into the air, silky and slow. And Marvin Gaye, well, he was about to change everything.
Feeling is something that's good for me whenever I'm blue.
But before we dive in, let us know in the comments what your favorite track was that year. Number 10, Can I Change My Mind by Tyrone Davis.
I just wanna change my mind.
There's something about this track that feels like stepping outside into the night air after an argument. Regret heavy, but the world still soft around you.
As I pack my bags to leave.
Tyrone Davis released this one in late 1968, but it bloomed in 1969, hitting number 1 on the Billboard R&B chart and crossing into the mainstream. It was recorded at Decca Records in Chicago, right at the moment when Chicago soul was finding its own tender groove.
Then that would make me change my mind.
Smoother than Stax, more grown folks than Motown. What made this song hit so hard was the story underneath it. Tyrone originally recorded it as a B-side, just a flip record. But DJs heard something in that pleading tone, that gentle rhythm, that whispered apology wrapped inside a groove.
Oh, I never reached the door.
Soon, that B-side became the side, and Davis found himself transformed from a club singer to a national soul voice. Close your eyes when this plays, and you can almost see it. A dim-lit lounge, a slow sip of something strong, couples swaying shoulder to shoulder, thinking about love they almost let slip away.
Oh, baby. Hey, baby. Baby.
And that line, that wanting to undo the moment, is a feeling that never gets old. If this was a late-night confession, the next track is Pure Sunrise Joy, number 9. It's Your Thing by the Isley Brothers.
I can't tell you what you wanna do.
This one hits like a declaration, bold, joyful, full of strut and sunshine. It's Your Thing came out in early 1969, and it marked a moment of independence for the Isley Brothers.
I can't tell you who it's like it to. It's you.
They had just left Motown, stepping out from under the assembly line hit machine to form their own label, T-Neck Records. And this song, it was their announcement to the world that they were going to do it their way. Their rhythm, their fire, their groove. There's a story people still tell. When the Isleys brought the track to radio, Motown tried to stop them, claiming the group owed them songs. But the Isleys held their ground. They believed in this sound, that infectious bass line, those snapping drums, that playful vocal that winks when it sings. Do what you want to do. And listeners felt that freedom deep in the bone. It became a national anthem of self-expression, of walking your own road with your head held high. The tracks had shot straight to number 1 on the R&B chart and won them a Grammy, their very first. Play this one on a bright day, with the windows down. It still feels like liberation. And if that one sets you free, this next track will set your heart floating. Number 8, La La, Means I Love You by the Delphonics. Now this is the sound of soft romance drifting through the summer air. La La, Means I Love You wasn't loud, wasn't flashy. It was delicate.
Many guys have come to you with a line.
Dreamy, almost weightless. Released on Philly Groove Records, it was part of that early wave of what would become Philadelphia soul, smooth strings, satin harmonies, emotions whispered rather than shouted.
Hold you in my arms, girl, and thrill you with my charms, I'm sure.
The Delphonics were young then, just beginning to carve their identity. And Tom Bell's production wrapped their voices in a warm, golden haze. There's a story that when the song first played in neighborhood record shops, people stopped mid-step. They weren't sure what they were hearing. A lullaby? A love letter? Something from a dream? But they felt it.
The things I am saying are true.
Couples started claiming it as their song. Teens scribbled the title on notebook corners. It became the soundtrack of shy glances, slow dances, and sweet first loves. Listen to it today, and you can still feel that innocence, that gentle flutter in the chest when love is new, hopeful, and uncomplicated. The song didn't just chart. It lingered in the culture, sampled, covered, echoed for generations.
The things I am saying are true.
Even now, one note in and your heart softens just a little. If this one was a love letter, the next track is a spark catching fire. Number 7, I Can't Get Next to You by The Temptations. Here comes the fire. By 1969, The Temptations were in the middle of one of the most daring musical evolutions in soul. Under the guidance of producer Norman Whitfield, they stepped away from the polished Motown sweetness of their earlier hits and dove into what became known as psychedelic soul.
But my life is incomplete and I'm so blue, 'cause I can't get.
A sound full of layered vocals, electric energy, and raw emotional punch. I Can't Get Next to You is a riot of feeling. The Temps trade lines like they're passing electricity through the mic. Dennis Edwards leading with that bold urgency, David Ruffin's absence still felt, and the rest of the group glowing like a furnace behind him. The song leaps from quiet to explosive, from frustrated longing to a near shout for connection. It was recorded with the Funk Brothers laying down a groove that felt restless, alive, and unstoppable. There's a moment in the track where the music pauses just for a second, and then claps back in with a jolt that could shake a dance floor in 1969 or right now.
Unhappy am I with all the problems I'm possessed.
And emotionally, it's the cry of someone who would give the world, move mountains, calm oceans, but still feels love just out of reach. This wasn't just a song, it was a statement. It shot to number 1 on both the R&B and pop charts, proving the Temptations were not only evolving.
I can fly like a bird in the sky. Hey, I can fly.
They were leading the charge. If that was desire burning wild, the next track is love wearing its Sunday best. Number 6, Oh Happy Day by the Edwin Hawkins Singers.
Oh, a happy day. When Jesus.
This one feels like sunlight breaking through stained glass windows. Released in early 1969, Oh Happy Day was born in a church basement in Oakland, California.
When he was, when Jesus was.
Recorded not as a commercial single, but as a joyful experiment blending gospel tradition with a fresh contemporary groove. Edwin Hawkins gathered a youth choir, many of them teenagers, and shaped this arrangement around a centuries-old hymn. They had no idea they were about to send gospel soaring into living rooms, clubs, and radio stations worldwide. When radio DJs first played it, the reaction was immediate. That rolling piano, the tender choral rise, and Dorothy Combs Morrison's lead vocal, full of soul, strength, and pure uplift, made people stop and feel something. It was spiritual, yes, but it was also soulful, smooth, and somehow universal. It climbed the charts, crossed into mainstream airplay, and earned a Grammy. proving that music born in the sanctuary could move the entire world. If the last song was yearning, this one is the sound of joy and release. If these songs are bringing back memories or introducing you to new ones, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It helps keep the soul alive and lets us keep celebrating this beautiful music together. And don't go anywhere. We're only halfway through, and the next 5 tracks are pure magic. Number 5 is Baby I'm For Real by the Originals.
Baby, 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 you don't.
This one is tender, intimate, and quietly devastating in the most beautiful way. Released in 1969 on Motown, Baby I'm For Real carries the unmistakable fingerprints of Marvin Gaye.
Baby, baby,
who produced and arranged the track during a period when he was searching for more creative depth behind the scenes. He slowed everything down. The tempo, the instrumentation, even the emotional pacing, letting every word feel meant, not just sung.
stay a little while longer, baby.
The Originals weren't a household name yet, but Marvin knew their voices held something gentle, patient, human. The recording session itself has become part of Motown storytelling. Marvin insisted the group sing the harmonies as if they were speaking directly to one person. Not a crowd, not a stage, but a lover sitting close enough to touch.
I tell you, this is how I feel.
That's why the record feels like a whisper in a quiet room. No big horns, no flashy breaks. Just sincerity wrapped in warm strings and soft doo-wop echoes. This song didn't explode with force. It bloomed. It climbed the R&B charts and became one of those slow jams that couples claimed as theirs.
If you want to know the truth about it, girl, I desperately.
It's the kind of track that makes you remember the first time you held someone's hand a little longer than necessary. If this was devotion spoken softly, the next track is love sung to the sky. Number 4, Oh What a Night by the Dells.
Oh, what a night to kiss you, dear.
This is one of those songs that feels like memory itself. Warm, golden, a little hazy at the edges. Like an old photograph of a night you'll never quite get over. The Dells had actually first recorded Oh What a Night back in 1956 as a doo-wop ballad. But in 1969 they returned to it, older now, seasoned, voices deeper with time and lived romance, and transformed it into a soul masterpiece. Produced by Charles Stepney and arranged with rich orchestral sweep, the 1969 version is cinematic. Marvin Jr.'s baritone brings gravity, while Johnny Carter's soaring falsetto feels like a memory lifted into smoke. The contrast between their voices, strong and trembling, grounded and floating, is what makes the song ache with longing. It sounds like a man remembering a love that shaped him, even if it didn't last.
One more night, one more night.
People say Stepney told the Dells not just to sing the song, but to remember while they sang. And you can hear that. The breath, the pauses, the sweetness of something once perfect. When it hit the R&B charts, it didn't just climb, it stayed, becoming one of the group's signature recordings and a slow dance staple for decades. Weddings, reunions, quiet nights at home.
All the young ladies, imagine yourself.
This song still drifts into all of them. If this was memory held tenderly, the next track is emotion laid bare in the open air. Number 3, I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. This was the moment the world stopped, turned its head, and said, Who Are These Kids? Released late in 1969, I Want You Back was the Jackson 5's explosive Motown debut. A song bursting with youth, joy, urgency, and unbelievable talent. Michael was just 11 years old, yet his voice carried the ache of grown love, pleading, hopeful, full of that delicate break right before he hit each emotional peak. The track was crafted in the Motown hit factory by The Corporation, Berry Gordy's hand-picked team of writers and producers who knew they needed something big, fresh, and irresistible to introduce the group. What they created was pure kinetic magic. Dancing bass lines, sparkling piano flourishes, strings that practically smile, and hand claps that pull you straight out of your chair.
To show you, girl, that I know wrong from right.
It's not just a song. It's a burst of joy that hits the heart and the feet at the same time. There's a famous story that when DJs first spun this record, everyone in the room looked up. The sound was familiar, Motown, but brighter, faster, alive with something new. And then that voice, Michael pleading for one more chance at love, melted the world. The song shot to #1 and announced a new era. This wasn't just a hit. This was the birth of a phenomenon. If that was youth shining like the sun, the next track is a love song dipped in velvet. #2, The Bells by The Originals. This one is velvet, smooth, warm, and full of yearning. Released in December of 1969, The Bells is another masterpiece shaped by Marvin Gaye's hand as producer and arranger. If Baby I'm For Real was intimate, The Bells was cinematic. Sweeping strings, choral echoes, and a slow, graceful build that feels like floating through memory. Marvin was searching for a deeper, richer, emotional palette in the studio. And this song shows just how much soul he could paint into a moment when given full creative freedom. The story behind the recording still feels almost sacred. Marvin dimmed the studio lights, slowed the musicians down, and told the originals to sing as if they were remembering a love, not performing one. That's why the vocal lines tremble, rise, and melt. You can feel the softness of goodbye, the sweetness of what once was, and that ache of wishing you could hold on just a little longer. When the song hit the airwaves, listeners didn't just like it, they felt it. It became a slow dance classic, a wedding song, a heartbreak companion, and a late-night radio staple. It's the sound of a love that lingers. And if this song was the quiet glow of candlelight romance, nothing will prepare you for what's waiting at #1. #1, I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Marvin Gaye. This is the sound of smoke curling through a dim room, slow footsteps across a wooden floor, a heart breaking so quietly that the world keeps turning, unaware. Though first recorded in 1967, it was 1969 that made I Heard It Through the Grapevine unforgettable, when Marvin Gaye's version climbed back to the top and became one of the defining soul recordings of the era. The story behind it is legendary. Marvin's version originally sat on the shelf. Motown executives thought it was too dark, too heavy, too different. They released versions by Gladys Knight and the Pips and others first. But when DJs finally got their hands on Marvin's recording, the people spoke. The song spread, not fast but deep, like its own whispered rumor. It hit #1, then stayed there 7 weeks, becoming Motown's biggest selling single to that point. The arrangement is haunting. Those nervous hi-hats, the swirling strings, the low bass line pulsing like a heartbeat under stress. And Marvin's voice, restrained yet trembling, delivering betrayal, vulnerability, and dignity all at once. It wasn't just a song, it was confession. It was the moment soul music looked inward, stepped into shadow, and found beauty there. Even now, when those first few notes start, the room slows down. The song doesn't just play, it haunts. From Motown's velvet tenderness to Chicago's slow dance confession, from gospel sunlight to psychedelic fire, 1969 was a year when soul music didn't just entertain, it felt our joy, our longing, our heartbreak, and gave us something beautiful to hold on to. Thank you for sharing this journey through memory, rhythm, and heart. If these songs stirred something in you, a smile, a moment, a memory, go ahead and subscribe to keep the soul alive. We've got many more eras, stories, and timeless tracks ahead. And when you're ready for the next chapter, click the video on your screen, because next, we're stepping into the sweet soul sounds of 10 R&B songs only. Those who grew up in the 1960s, remember, see you there, and keep the music close.